Welcome to Rewrite Her Voice, the podcast that takes a bold and compassionate look at the inner critic living rent-free in your head. You know the one. She's judgmental, perfectionistic, and never misses a chance to tear you down. But here's the truth. That voice isn't truly you. Each week, we dive into an honest conversation with powerful stories and practical tools to uncover where that inner mean girl came from, why she shows up, and how to rewrite her script. It's time to reclaim your inner voice, break the cycle of self sabotage, and speak to yourself with the kindness and strength you deserve. If you're ready to stop letting your inner mean girl run the show and start showing up as your most authentic, empowered self, let's go. Hey there, sunshine. Welcome back. Welcome back. Today, I want to talk about 3 different voices. Normally, we talk only about the inner mean girl voice, right? Well, here's a fun fact. You don't only have one inner voice. You have many. Scary, right? I like to joke that we all have so many voices in our head that we all belong in a padded cell. Today's focus, we are going to chat about 3 voices: the doubt voice, the fear and anxiety voice, and the mistake story voice. These 3 voices may be distinct and different, or they may just be different narratives from the same voice, or a combination. When it comes to the voices, there are no hard and fast rules, okay? Here's the crazy thing about these voices. They are actually there as protective, not broken pieces of your mind. There's nothing wrong with you, okay? Just like the inner mean girl, these voices serve a purpose, and we can learn from them if we are willing to listen and let them give us the message. These voices aren't here to sabotage you. They're here to protect you, just sometimes using outdated information. What I want you to do is notice which voice shows up first when change is present, okay? When you want to try to do something different, when you have a goal, when you're trying to change a routine, when you're trying to introduce a different lifestyle or habit or anything like that, I want you to notice what voice shows up first. We are taking awareness here. We are looking at a non-judgmental, just aware, being observant, collecting data kind of focus here. We are not focusing on fixing. So here are some examples of what you might hear in your head or what you might think and what voice it actually is. So have you ever thought to yourself, it hasn't worked before? Well, that would be your doubt voice. What if it goes wrong? That would be your fear voice. Remember last time? That would be your past mistake or mistake story voice. So here's a question that you can actually ask yourself. Which voice do I hear most often? And then take a step further. Where do I feel it in my body? Where do I feel it in my brain? How does it actually feel? Like, focus on the sensation there. How does it actually feel in your body? How does it actually feel in your brain? Naming creates emotional space, okay? When we can name the emotion or the voice or the pattern, it helps us to keep a clear and curious mind about us. We can objectively see it and feel it and ask the right questions of it. Remember, these are parts, not truths. These are parts trying to keep us away from discomfort, harm, and judgment. So let's give them a name. You can give them an actual name like we did with the inner mean girl. Remember, mine is Lucy. Or you can go pretty general like the doubter, the protector, the historian. When you name the voice, you stop becoming it. So here's a question for some thought and clarity. When this voice shows up, I want you to ask it or ask yourself or both, what is this voice trying to protect me from? Because if you can dig in there, if you can actually figure out what that voice is trying to do for you, it makes it so much easier to actually converse with the voice and let your authentic, genuine self come forward. And it helps because you can then be kind of logical and rationalize with this voice that's trying to protect you. Okay, so if it's the mistake voice and it's bringing something up from the past, what is it trying to protect you from by bringing up the past? If it's the fear voice, what is it afraid of? What's going to happen that it's afraid of? If it's the doubt voice, what is it trying to protect you from? How is it trying to serve you? I want you to be gentle, okay? Remember gentleness, compassion, and softness when you are asking these voices questions. So here are some examples you might want to try. For doubt, is this belief current or is this belief borrowed from the past? For fear or anxiety, what does my brain think is unsafe here? For mistakes, am I treating one moment as a life sentence? Notice the gentle and curious tones here in these questions. Curiosity softens resistance faster than force. So we want to keep that curiosity. We want to keep that gentleness because it keeps those defensive walls down. Rewriting is not the same as positive thinking, okay? I want you to remember that. Happy thoughts are great and wonderful, and I love affirmations and I love mantras and I love trying to find the positive things in your stories. But when you are rewriting something, it goes beyond positive thinking. It's choosing a truer, kinder story. Some examples would be it didn't work before. 2, I learned something that time. Then go ahead and list what you actually learned. This feels scary. 2, I can move slowly and still move forward. Find the safety here. How about I messed up? 2, I was practicing. I need practice for everything. What's a version of this story that your voice is telling you that supports you instead of shrinks you? Okay. So if it's the I messed up, what's a version of that story that could support you instead of making you feel small? Now, keep in mind, we want to embody the new story, the new narrative. Rewriting a story must be felt, not just thought. Okay. Small actions build self trust, and self trust is key here. You got to keep a promise to yourself. Okay. Choosing one gentle next step. It doesn't have to be big. It doesn't have to be bold. Those teeny tiny steps add up over time. Remember, embodiment is living as if the new voice, the new story is true. Here are some affirmations that you could try on for size. I'd love to hear which ones you create. So if you create affirmations, shoot me a message. Find me on Instagram, shoot me a message, and tell me what your affirmations are that are working. What are you currently working with? I would love to hear it. I trust myself. Notice the trust myself there. You're telling your brain that you trust yourself. That's a huge one. I am allowed to try again differently. Hey, yeah, that didn't work last time. Let's try again and try something new. This might feel not quite believable at first, but with practice, the brain and these voices will recognize it as truth and start looking for evidence to back it up. Let's tie doubt, fear, and mistakes back to self trust, okay? Doubt, fear, and the mistake voice often come from a lack of self trust. Somewhere in your past in which you got hurt or inadvertently hurt yourself. And because of that, your inner voices don't think they can trust you to keep you safe. So start small and rewrite the narrative. You don't need certainty, okay? It's not needed here. What you do need is safety within yourself. It's about becoming your own safe place. When you trust yourself, the voices don't disappear, they soften. That's what we're looking for. We aren't looking to exile these voices. We aren't looking to cut them out of our brain. We aren't looking to end a possession of sorts. We are looking to communicate effectively with these voices, to hear them and to allow the softening to happen so they don't feel so harsh, so judgmental, so cruel, right? I want you this week to notice one voice. No fixing, no forcing, just listening differently with openness and compassion. Okay. I want you to remember that you, as you are right now, in all your flawed gloriousness, you are enough. You are worthy. You are loved, especially while you're learning. So now that we've talked about this together, I need you to do something for me. Okay. If this episode really spoke to you and you loved it, will you share it with a friend? Because I would really love for your friends to feel the same about their inner voices that you are starting to feel about your inner voices. Will you do that for me? And don't forget to find me on Instagram and tell me what affirmations you're working with. I want to hear it. I want to hear it. All right, my sweet friend. Until the next time, love, Rach. Hey, my sweet friend. Thank you so much for spending time with me today on Rewrite Her Voice. If you loved today's episode, will you hit that subscribe button for me? And be sure to share it with a friend. If you're ready to quiet your inner mean girl and step into your own authentic voice, I would love for you to join me inside our Cultivating membership. Until next time, remember, you are enough.